Hi, in this review I'm going to be looking at the Olympus LS-P4 digital audio recorder. There's been a lot of interest in this device recently because Olympus have positioned it as a tool for video makers by adding a number of features that appeal to such users, both in terms of the device itself and the kits that are available. Currently the LS-P4 is available in 4 variants: as a standalone recorder, as a videographer kit, which is what I have here. This comes bundled with a windshield and a 3.5mm cable. There's a podcast kit that comes with a USB extension cable, windshield and a flexible mini tripod. And finally, an interviewer kit that has 2 lavalier microphones and a dual stereo breakout cable for connecting them to the recorder. All 4 options come with metal tripod and cold shoe adapters. And just for the record, almost all of the audio in this video was recorded using the LS-P4 with the purple Panda lavalier microphone attached. The LS-P4 is a tiny handheld device that is capable of fantastic audio quality. It's made mostly of metal with a contoured appearance and feels like a quality product. It features Olympus's Tresmic 3 microphone setup that provides a frequency response from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The LS-P4 is capable of the recording and playback of MP3, WAV and FLAC files, the latter 2 options supporting resolutions of up to 24 bits at 96 kHz. It comes with 8 GB of internal storage, and you can add more storage via a micro SD card. There are 3.5mm microphone and headphone sockets and a hold switch that disables all of the other buttons when recording or playing back. The record button is illuminated and it has a peak light that warns you when the input level is too high. There's a retractable USB Type-A plug for data transfer and charging. The LS-P4 is supplied with a rechargeable AAA battery and will also accept non-rechargeables. Feature-wise, there are 2 big changes that the LS-P4 brings. The first of these is a bush that allows it to be mounted on a tripod or in a camera's cold shoe using the included adapter. The second is Bluetooth connectivity, which allows audio playback via Bluetooth headphones and recording via the microphone of a Bluetooth headset. Olympus provide an Android app that interfaces with the LS-P4 via Bluetooth, but at the time of this review, all it allows you to do is to start and stop recording. One minor new feature worthy of mention is that pressing the record button on the LS-P4 places the device into the record pause mode, and a second press is needed before it actually starts recording. This is extremely useful for checking and adjusting levels and means that you don't end up with a bunch of 1-second files lying around as a result. Another minor change worthy of note is the microphone zoom feature. This processes the stereo signal from the built-in mics, enabling you to widen or narrow the sound field. For example, when filming outdoors you could narrow it to focus on your subject and reduce the relative level of other background sounds. On previous models, this feature only worked when recording at 44 kHz. I'm pleased to say that on the LS-P4 it now works at all sample rates, including 48 kHz, which is the rate that most videographers will want to use. The tripod bush on the LS-P4 gives you a number of options that weren't very practical with previous models. You can mount it on a mini tripod and use it for podcasting like this. And you can use it on a boom pole like this for recording audio from groups of people. And most importantly, using the bundled cold shoe adapter, you could mount it on top of your camera and use the 3.5mm cable to connect the headphone output of the recorder into the camera's mic socket. There's no shock mount included in the package, and I did find that in this scenario the LS-P4 was picking up some noise from the focus motor of my lens, even in my case when using one of Nikon's quieter AFP lenses. However, moving the recorder off to the side on a flash bracket seemed to fix this. This is the audio from my camera's built-in microphones. It's not great, but in a room this size it's perfectly acceptable. And this is the audio from the LS-P4 with its headphone output fed into the camera's microphone socket. In this mode, I'm using it as a shotgun microphone, but of course it's not. It's an audio recorder, And if you're prepared to synchronize your video after you finish shooting, then this opens up a whole new set of creative possibilities. Now you're listening to the audio recorded by the LS-P4, and I've synchronized this in my video editor after I filmed it. I've come outside on this miserable November day to perform some comparisons. Right now you're listening to the camera's internal audio. In a moment I'll switch to the audio being recorded by the LS-P4 with its windshield attached, and then finally, for comparison, we'll listen to the audio from my lavalier microphone, which is how I prefer to shoot, connected to the DM670. Okay, so you've probably heard enough of the camera's internal audio. Now let's switch to the LS-P4. Hopefully you can hear the difference. I think you'll agree there's probably a bit more sensitivity. Whether that's a good thing or not, I'll leave to your judgment. And now we'll switch to the lavalier microphone on my lapel. And this is the audio from the Purple Panda lavalier microphone. I think what you'll hear is there's a lot less background noise and my voice is much clearer. And finally, for this test, I've set the LS-P4's zoom mode to its maximum setting. Hopefully what you'll hear is that my voice sounds a bit louder, but the background noise is diminished. Right now you're listening to the audio from my Samsung Level U headphones. These are connected to the LS-P4 via Bluetooth. What you'll find with Bluetooth is that the voice quality varies enormously depending on the headset and the codecs that it uses. One issue that everyone will encounter is the fact that Bluetooth has a range limitation, as we'll demonstrate now. Right now I'm about 15 feet from the camera, and this I would expect to be about the limit for reliable voice quality. As I move away, my voice will get choppy and it may even drop out at the extreme range. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. I expect it to be unacceptably bad by this point. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. You'll hear just my DM. I'm going to switch to the audio from my lavalier microphone and my DM670, which is in my pocket. The key takeaway from this is, yes, you can use Bluetooth, but you have to be aware of its limitations. It's never going to perform as well as a dedicated radio mic. But there is another option available. If you're prepared to accept the fact that you've got to synchronize your video afterwards, then you can use a lavalier microphone and a recorder in your pocket, and then you will get superior voice quality and unlimited range. As a media player, the LS-P4 won't win any prizes for its user interface, which is to say the least basic. But once again, the sound quality is truly excellent. No one is going to buy this just as an MP3 player, but if you've already invested for some other reason, you'll be pleased to know that it can double up as a rather fine media player. I tried it with several different pairs of headphones, including my AKG 702s, which can be a little hard to drive. They needed quite a bit more volume than the other headphones, but once I cranked it up, the LS-P4 performed admirably. The LS-P4 has top-notch audio quality and provides a number of videographer-friendly features. Chief amongst these is the tripod bush that allows it to be mounted on or close to your camera. In fact, this is such an obvious improvement that you wonder why Olympus didn't do it sooner. Another personal favourite of mine is the illuminated record button and the associated rec pause mode. The support for FLAC files is also useful, as this allows you to have full quality recording with a degree of compression. I'm less convinced, however, by the higher rate codecs. These are great for file playback compatibility, but given that the LS-P4's microphone tops out at 20 kHz, then I really don't see the point in a sampling rate above 48 kHz for recording. Unfortunately, I think it's Bluetooth where Olympus have dropped the ball slightly. The pairing mechanism is clunky, and if you want to delete a pairing, you have to do a full factory reset. Also, bear in mind that when recording or playing back using Bluetooth, you're effectively bypassing the high quality audio circuitry of the LS-P4, and the quality of the results you get will depend almost entirely on the headset that you've connected. A feature I was hoping for, and which is sadly missing, is the ability to use Bluetooth to wirelessly monitor the audio that you're recording. This would be a real boon for videographers, and I'm hoping that Olympus will provide this in a future firmware update. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.